Hello and welcome to Trojans Live on a Monday night, presented by Monster Energy on ESPN LA 710 and across the USC Trojans Media Network. I am Jordan Moore alongside the All-American Sean Cody, our quarterback Cody Kessler, and the head coach Lincoln Riley. Fresh off another win, Monster Energy, the official energy drink partner of USC, tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. Unleash the Beast. And our head coach interview is presented by iTrust Capital, the official crypto platform of the USC Trojans. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. A very impressive 28-zip in the second half on Saturday night to put everyone at ease. You know, we talk so much about halftime and halftime adjustments. You've been a great second-half team so far this season. How much of it actually is scheme that's changing at halftime, and how much of it is just halftime allows guys to sort of emotionally reset and, you know, sort of change their mindset going into the second half?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. You know, each game, each scenario is a little bit different. There's some games where you go in and, you know, there's not that many adjustments to make. It's, you know, here's what we're doing, and here's the things we need to do better, and here we go. And I think, you know, probably last week emotionally it was good for us a little bit to kind of get in there and just reset. We did not play a good first half, and you know, against a quality football team, like you're going to be down at half when you play the way we did. It just is what it is. And so, but you gotta emotionally get past that and get on to what's going to help you go play well in the second half. And so, you know, our guys did that. They had a good mindset coming out. Like I said after the game, there was frustration but not panic, and there were a few things schematically on both sides that we wanted to be able to get to when we got everybody there in the locker room, and we were able to do that, and the guys handled it well.
Coach, 31 points as an offense, and offensively speaking, you know, at 31 points, that's a good day at the office. But I know you want so much more. What are the points that you make with your team to try to get them from a good offense to maybe that next level of elite offense? Yeah,
you know, I mean, you got to take advantage of the drives you get. I mean, we've played several pretty top defenses already, and we got several more coming. And so, you know, when you're playing good opponents, you've got to make the most of the good drives that you had. And you know, two of the turnovers the other day were in plus territory. You know, and we had the ball moving, and so that was you know, that to me was probably the biggest negative on the day. We did capitalize on a lot of the opportunities. Obviously, in the second half, we made some really good competitive plays. We weren't great on first down. We got to continue to get better at that. We got to continue to put ourselves in more advantageous spots. But you know, we really countered that by we were awesome on third and fourth down. You know, and that's obviously we were awesome defensively there as well, and that was probably the biggest separation point in the entire game. And so, yeah, we're growing. We're kind of learning our skill sets. We're getting better as we go along. But we definitely. Again, as you play good opponents, you got to take advantage of when you put yourself in position to score. You got to get it done, and we've missed a few too many opportunities here through the first four games.
Coach, we just mentioned it, but a big comeback win led by a dominant second half. What does this type of win tell you about the culture and the leadership on your football team?
Yeah, I think it's improving. It's I think pretty strong with this group right now. I do think they believe in one another quite a bit. I think they believe that all sides of the ball have the capability to do what they need to do. You know, I pointed out today to our team, I mean, the group of specialists we have right now, you know, has to be one of the best groups in the country. You know, we've shown the capability both defensively and offensively to play some really good ball. So this team has the capability and firepower to go on big runs like we did, or if we are behind, we do have the ability to stop people. We have the ability to score. We have the ability to make plays on special teams. So like we can. I think we could thrive in a lot of different scenarios right now, and I think we're like developing a little bit of a confidence as a team that way. That kind of, no matter how it plays out, we can overcome it.
You're listening to Lincoln Riley on Trojans Live, and I heard you say, and I'm paraphrasing here, basically, you know, show me a tough team, and I'll show you a tough quarterback. Show me a soft team, and I'll show you a soft quarterback. You clearly have a tough quarterback. When did you know that? Are you learning that as we're learning that? Was there a time as you've watched him, you know, sit behind Caleb for a couple of years where you said, man, there's something about this kid? Because he's not necessarily the biggest or the strongest out there, but we're seeing it that his poise under fire is very impressive.
Yeah, no, he is. I think he proved that, definitely some in the bowl game. He took a couple pretty big licks in the bowl game and hung in there. I mean, I thought he was a, pretty mentally tough kid, and seeing how, again, stayed here, persevered through all. I know we've talked about that at length, but seeing it on the field when you're taking real shots is a different thing, and our guys, I've seen other guys that are hard workers, our team means a lot to them, all that, but then that big hit comes and maybe they flinch a little bit, or they don't want that. And Miller's been a tough player for us. He's takes some shots knowing that's the right thing to do to make the throw, like the one to Deuce, there at the end was a great example. I mean, you're getting max blitz. Like if you're going to hang on to that ball, like you are going to get hit. It doesn't matter how good an O-line protects you. They're bringing 6 people and we have 5 people to block. You do the math, like you're going to get hit. And some guys, have the courage to stand in there and make that throw for their team, and he's made a lot of plays like that for us.
We've seen some different receivers in different games. I can think of Kyra Hudson in the first game making some big plays. Zachariah against Michigan had some nice plays, and then Deuce obviously. But I thought really the emphasis was on Jacoby Lane starting the game off, first drive, getting him the ball, pumping him. What did you learn from number 8 in that game where he had a big game, 10 targets, over 100 yards? What did you learn about number 8?
Yeah, I was proud of just some of the tough plays he made. He caught the one ball going across the middle and took a pretty big shot, hung on to the ball. He made some real timely plays, some big-time plays on third downs. So, it was good to see certainly more consistent performance from him, and the ball found him a little bit early, and then I think he was able to gain some momentum from that, which was good to see. So
it's like hitting your free throws early, right? You hit your free throws early, it's going to lead to a big game.
It's exactly right.
I never hit my free throws.
Where's the touch? Come on.
Big man off the back.
There we go. You called bank?
No.
Okay, all right, just checking. No, you're right. I mean, it's like you get off that good start, you get some confidence going, and then, he was able to sustain it through a large part of the game. So it's for a lot of the guys, and not just in the receiver room, but young players all over the team, it's all right, guys that are capable of making great plays versus guys that are trying to grow into becoming great players. And a lot of time people confuse the two. Yeah. Like there are a lot of people capable of making highlight reel plays, and that's good. I mean, we're not going to turn them down, but at the same time, like great players are the ones whose bad plays aren't that bad. And like that's what, guys like Jacoby are trying to build into, and I thought that was a really good step for him.
Coach, we saw Walker Lyons get some opportunities on Saturday, made some big-time plays, especially on third down. What did you see from the freshman, and did he earn himself some more of those opportunities going forward with Lake McCree out?
Yeah, he did a good job. Both he and Cade did. That's not an easy position to play in our offense. We ask him to do a lot. It was a really physical game. Those guys both have pretty limited experience, so for them to step in there and take all those snaps, they did a good job. They both had a couple catches. Walker, as you said, had a real timely third down catch. It was really important. It was a tough catch too. Those guys they're gaining steam. Like they're learning so much. They're both going to be really good players. We just need them to be really good players right now with the situation. But I think it was a confidence builder for both Cade and Walker, and I think just us as a staff to see those guys go in there, make some plays, really hang in there, compete hard, and did some things that we needed to do in terms of moving the ball.
Kamari Ramsey seems like a guy that you've sort of put forward really from the moment he's gotten here, an instant leader for this team. You needed some of those moments on defense on Saturday. He delivered the fourth down stop. Obviously, I think Lucas was a big part of that play too. And you mentioned you took some shots over the middle, and then he delivered one. What does that do for a room? A tone set for a whole team. When you're going out there making those plays in that third quarter.
Yeah, he's very much been a leader by example from the day he walked in. He's not the most vocal guy in the world, but on the field, he's a really consistent competitor. He just doesn't have very many down days. He doesn't have very many plays that he's not like mentally locked in or focused. He's a very consistent player. And then, you see, his ability to go make some game-changing type plays, and he is that type of player. And so, no, it was important, to physically set the tone. You continue to get some of these questions about the new conference and this physicality or that physicality. It was good to see some of our guys go out there and really set the tone and make some of those plays. I mean, and how many big stops have we had already this year on short yardage, and he's been involved as a lot of our other guys. So it's, those are game-changing plays, the momentum, I mean, just everything behind it. And for us to make the amount we're making right now is a great step.
Second half shutout for the defense paved the way for that comeback on Saturday. Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football. Hey, Trojan fans, celebrate every Trojan win. Hope you did yesterday with a sweet taste of victory. A free donut at Ralph's the day after a win. Download your digital coupon from the Ralph's app to score your free donut at any Los Angeles area Ralph's store. Big Ten schedule continues this week. USC versus Minnesota, 4:30 Pacific time. It'll be 6:30 in the Central Time Zone where we'll be. Big Ten Network is the channel. Trojan Tailgate Show across ESPN Los Angeles and the USC Trojans Media Network. That'll go on at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. Back to talk about that game with Coach next on Trojans Live. When you've got good beer and good vibes, it's all Buena. Stone Buena Vesa Salt and Lime Lager is Baja-inspired, imported from San Diego, located near you at find.stonebrewing.com. And Fight on Trojans and Fly On with ONT. Ontario International Airport is a proud sponsor of our USC Trojans. Visit SoCalSoEasy.com to book your journey through ONT today. Back on Trojans Live with the head coach Lincoln Riley, getting us set for USC versus Minnesota on Saturday. A team we saw in 2010, 2011, so it hasn't been that long, going back to the Twin Cities. Coach, I'm sure you'd love to start fast. I mean, it's great being a second-half team, but I'm sure you'd love to start faster. What do you think is the key to getting out to a good start in this game?
Yeah, well, and on the road, as we know, it's even more important. So yeah, I mean, you continue to play quality team after quality team like we're going to play. We've got to be able to do that. That's the ability we have to develop as a football team, and so that's going to be, it'll be very important to be able to get off to a good start, and then be able to maintain and sustain that. And we know this is a good, tough, physical football team that we're getting ready to play, and again, road football against good teams in a good conference, like it's always going to be a challenge. So go up there for a night game. It'll be a fun atmosphere. And we know that they're going to get, we're going to get their best, and we got to make sure that they get ours as well.
Coach, offensive line, had a better game, it seemed like, against Wisconsin in previous weekends. Michigan struggled a little bit. We saw a little bit of rotation at right guard, Elijah Page back at left tackle. What did you think of that group, and how did they take a step forward?
Yeah, we did. We did some really good things there. I thought the guys improved, took a lot of the things that we emphasized throughout the week, and certainly had a much better performance. And I think we'll continue to grow from it. It was a great response, I thought, from the week before. There's certainly still some little things to clean up that we've got to continue to do better, especially being better on first down. But by and large, if we can keep taking those jumps like we did from the previous week to this one, then that group's going to have a chance to play very well for us.
Coach, I talked about it on our preview podcast we do before the game. I'd love to think that you and Miller were sitting there on Thursday after practice watching this, but one of my keys to the game was...
Doubt it, Cody. Hate to be the one to tell you.
That probably weren't. But one of my keys to the game was Miller Moss had to use his feet this week, right? And if you watched the Wisconsin-Alabama game, you saw Jalen Merlo multiple times pull that football because they were crashing the defensive end. Was that a point of emphasis this week for Miller Moss to be more effective in the run game, or is that something that he started just doing in the game because he was making great reads?
Well, we thought that there was a chance they were going to be pretty aggressive on the edges and that we would get some opportunities. Milroe's a little bit of a different animal and in terms of the way that he can run. But
wait, time out, Coach. Did you see the spin move?
Hey,
double spin move?
The spin was legit.
How many minutes in practice goes towards Miller Moss spin moves?
Not enough. No, Miller did a good job recognizing there were some key plays.
Yeah.
Every quarterback's built different. I just think for Miller to show the ability to be able to carry the ball some, to have that added threat for defense is going to make us that much tougher to defend. And honestly, we probably could have done it a handful of more times as well. And so, no, it's important, though. He's going to – every quarterback, you're going to get put in that position. Especially when you're playing all these good defenses, and if whether it's pulling the ball on a run or it's a big third down and pass rush gets up the field and you can find that lane and go get a first down, there's going to be those key plays that quarterbacks are going to have to make from time to time to really make things tough on the defense.
Not sure our audience is aware. I'm sure you are, though. But Minnesota's defense statistically is way up there nationally, top 5 in some important categories. What are you seeing from them on film? What do they do so well?
Yeah, they've done everything well so far. I mean, they've played. It's been some unique. They've played some unique opponents. Definitely some different offensive styles. Kind of a hodgepodge of that here in the first several games. But yeah, I mean, when they're ranked, where they're ranked defensively, like I said, they're top 5 in a bunch of categories. Yep. I mean, you're pretty much doing everything good, and they are. People have not been able to run it on them very much at all. Really, only Iowa had much success in the run game. They've been great against the pass. They've been really good on third down. So yeah, no, it's a tough group. It's a veteran group. You know, they have a lot of starts. These guys have played a lot of ball together, and you see that when you turn on the tape.
Coach, you got a young man on your defense coming up next, and I'm sure he'll have some things to say about the defense. But talk to us about the linebacker group. I think a group that's really taken a step forward this year. Eric Gentry's taken his game to the addition of Issa Mascarenas has been great, and then Mason Cobb. So talk about those guys a little bit and what they brought to the defense and how their level of being developed has really helped them out.
Yeah, I think they've been really important. I mean, obviously they're right there at the heart of what we do defensively. I think these guys have all improved their own games individually. I think these guys, from a mentality standpoint, bring a lot to our defense in terms of not just what we do, but just the way that we play the game. Yep. These guys are playing physical. They're consistent competitors. You know, they've really pushed each other in that room. It's become a really healthy room. Mason certainly, has definitely been one of the catalysts for it. As physical as he's played, he's made a ton of great plays. Obviously, had the huge fumble or pick six return the other day, but he's really improved. I mean, so much from last year, and that's what you need, right? You need all the players to improve individually and then come together as a group and really play with one consistent mentality. And that room has certainly been a smart play.
Is he begging for a little bit of offensive action after that?
Yeah, he may be getting a little cocky after that. So, but no, hey, it was a heck of a return. And my most important thing to me is he had great ball security, which you love.
Coach, I love the way that Danton Lynn calls a game on defense, and the best way that I describe to people is he's fearless in his play calling, very aggressive. But to be able to do that, you have to trust your players on the field, which you can see a lot of that. What have you learned, or what has impressed you the most of your defense coordinator now that you guys have 4 games together?
Yeah, I think he's done a really nice job of blending the skill sets that we have on defense. I think a really nice job of, helping to bring the staff together to get the most out of the talented staff that we have, and he does. He believes in our players. He believes in the guys that we have. He does a good job, I think, getting the most out of those guys. And like you said, you can't call games scared. Like you can't. Yeah. As soon as you do, people just start preying on you, and it doesn't matter what side of the ball it is. So, no, he has. He's been aggressive. He's got a lot of belief in our guys. They've prepared them well, and I think our guys walk out there with a lot of confidence, just like he does.
Well, Sean teased it. We've got the touchdown maker himself next. Mason Cobb coming up on Trojans Live. Thank you, Coach. We will talk to you after the Minnesota game next week. Stay tuned for Mason Cobb coming up.